5 years ago, I generously donated $75,000 to fund my sister's dream wedding. It was a heartfelt gift, and I made it clear to her that I expected no repayment. My main wish was for her to enjoy a beautiful and memorable day. Since our childhood, she had always envisioned a fairy tale wedding, and I wanted to make that a reality for her. Although my wife was not entirely supportive of the decision to use such a large sum from my personal savings, I felt it was the right thing to do. Last month, my sister finalized her divorce, and now my wife is suggesting that I should ask for the money back because the marriage did not last. However, I maintain that the success of their marriage has no bearing on the gift. The purpose of the gift was to ensure my sister had a wonderful wedding, which she did. We are in a stable financial situation, so the need for the money isn't pressing. My wife's persistence in reclaiming the gift strikes me as unreasonable. It was never about the money, but about the gesture of support and love at that moment. Asking for the money back now, especially during such a difficult time for my sister, would only add to her distress. It seems unjust to penalize her for how her marriage ended, considering the gift was intended for her happiness on her wedding day. The idea that a gift is something given with an expectation of return misunderstands the nature of gifts, which are expressions of generosity meant to be unconditional and final. It's concerning that my wife is so focused on recouping a gift from many years ago rather than focusing on the present and our own financial comfort. It's deeply unsettling to see how much bitterness someone can harbor, and it's definitely a concern, but calling someone an idiot over their financial choices might be a stretch. If you were to give another $75,000 for a subsequent wedding, that could indeed complicate your own marital dynamics. It's difficult for many, myself included, to fathom the reality of being able to part with $75,000 without a second thought. Spending such a sum on a wedding might seem extravagant or even wasteful to some, especially if it were merely set on fire. It would achieve the same financial end, but more swiftly. In this scenario, everyone involved might need to reevaluate their choices. It's surprising that such a significant financial decision was made unilaterally, even if from an individual account. Reflecting back, it's worth considering whether that $75,000 had an impact on your financial situation at the time it was given, despite it not affecting your current finances. In most relationships, both partners should ideally agree on large financial gifts. Switching to a more personal note, my little sister is expecting her first child, and the excitement within our family is palpable. However, she has decided to keep the baby's name a secret until birth, which I completely support. Our family has a penchant for traditional, regal names, and they were quite vocal about their disapproval of the names I chose for my own children: Charlie, Sebastian, and Sage. Despite their objections, my husband and I loved these names and chose to announce them before each child was born, which unfortunately led to repeated confrontations. Each announcement brought its own set of challenges, as our family would express their displeasure. Though they kept their negative opinions off social media, where the reception to our choices was generally positive. I suspect my sister's choice for her daughter's name won't align with our family's traditional preferences either, but I admire her for learning from my experiences and opting to avoid unnecessary drama by keeping it under wraps. This decision of hers makes me incredibly proud, as it shows she values her and her partner's happiness over conforming to family pressures. The situation with my sister's choice to keep her baby's name secret has stirred quite a bit of drama in our family. Many relatives are speculating wildly, with some even suggesting she's hiding a terrible name that they'd urge her to change, or that she's chosen a name associated with someone they dislike. These accusations have led to heated discussions where I've had to step in and defend her decision consistently. Each time the topic arises, I remind everyone that the right to name a child rests solely with the parents, and that it's not uncommon for parents to wait until birth to announce the name. This approach seems sensible, especially given the strong reactions from our family in the past. However, this stance led to a conflict with my parents, who believe they should be privy to the name before the birth. I disagreed, stating that this information belongs only to the parents-to-be, and that my role was merely to support my sister's choice, not to meddle or reveal any secrets. My insistence on respecting my sister's privacy turned the situation tense, with my parents accusing me of being a bad influence and demanding an apology for my supposed mistreatment of them. They couldn't see that their insistence was intrusive and insensitive. You're absolutely not the idiot here. It's important to stand by the decision of the parents to keep their baby's name a secret if they choose to. It's a personal choice and one that they have every right to make without external pressure. The grandparents-to-be should focus on supporting their daughter and son-in-law during this joyous time rather than creating unnecessary stress. To lighten the mood and possibly shift their perspective, suggesting a clearly fictitious name like Prunella or Cinder Arbella as a joke might underline the absurdity of their obsession and prompt them to reconsider their approach. This strategy might give them a moment of pause, hopefully leading to a realization that their involvement should be supportive rather than controlling. As for hobbies and distractions, it might indeed be helpful for them to engage in other activities. Engaging more with the community or finding hobbies might provide them a healthier outlet for their energies, ensuring they respect boundaries while maintaining a positive and supportive role in their granddaughter's life. If they're spending their time nitpicking and creating drama over a baby's name, it really highlights the need for them to find more productive and fulfilling ways to spend their time. It's rather unsettling to see adults become so fixated on controlling or influencing decisions that aren't theirs to make, to the point of demanding apologies when they don't get their way. They clearly need to channel their energy into more positive activities. On another note, I've always thought of my stepdad as my father. He entered my life when I was just 1 year old, marrying my mom shortly after I turned 2. I don't have any memories before him, and for the longest time, I regarded him fully as my dad, not as a stepdad. He was the father figure who raised me, but I felt a distinction he made between me and his biological children. Though I called him dad throughout my childhood, he often referred to me as his stepdaughter in conversations, making a clear distinction when it came to his biological children. My younger sister was often called his first baby girl, and my brother his firstborn. This distinction was painful, especially since I was expected to treat him as my real dad, which I did wholeheartedly. The realization that I was different in his eyes became more pronounced as I grew older. For instance, when I was 17, a friend referred to him as my stepdad, and I didn't correct her. He overheard and felt hurt, confronting me about it. He couldn't understand why I would diminish his role in my life, but I felt that he often did the same to me by not fully acknowledging me as his daughter. This double standard was hurtful and confusing. We had conversations about this inconsistency, where I expressed how his words made me feel. Unfortunately, these discussions often left me feeling gaslighted, told that I misremembered his words, or that he had reasons to specify our relationship. These explanations never sat well with me, as they dismissed my feelings and the impact of his words. This ongoing dynamic was even noticed by my grandparents, who became particularly concerned when I was around 5 years old and expressed worries about my place in the family. These moments of familial discord and the mixed signals from someone I looked up to left a lasting impression, weaving a complex tapestry of emotions and memories from my childhood. Growing up, I never truly felt like my stepdad's real daughter despite how much I wanted to. I even asked him to adopt me once in front of his family, but he swiftly changed the subject. His parents and siblings were there, and the shock on their faces when I asked still sticks with me. Unlike my biological grandparents and other relatives who embraced me as one of their own, I was never formally acknowledged as a granddaughter or a niece by my stepdad's side of the family. My maternal grandpa became my rock, offering the emotional support I lacked from my stepdad's side. When COVID restrictions hit, my fiancé and I moved in with him temporarily. He was alone and knew we needed more space than our cramped apartment could provide. It felt natural to ask him to walk me down the aisle when I got engaged, given all he had done for me. However, when my stepdad learned of my decision, he was hurt and confronted me about it. He mentioned how he looked forward to walking his 3 little girls, my biological sisters, down the aisle, but never mentioned me in that future vision. His reaction was another reminder of the conditional nature of his affection. When I called him out on this discrepancy, pointing out that he often did not treat me as his daughter, he accused me of being nitpicky and ungrateful for everything he had provided. Am I wrong here? Absolutely not. It's crucial to remember that enduring such dismissive treatment repeatedly from someone who should be a father figure is profoundly unfair. As you prepare to start your own family, focus on the love and support you do have, particularly from your grandpa and your fiancé. In terms of dealing with my stepdad, it's important to set boundaries. If he continues to make dismissive remarks, it might be necessary to remind him that his role at my sister's weddings will be significant, and he should focus on those moments. As for my wedding, it should be a day surrounded by those who fully support and cherish me without reservation. Regarding my mom, it's disheartening that she hasn't intervened more supportively. If the situation doesn't improve, it might be necessary to consider how much I want her and my stepdad involved in my wedding and in my life moving forward. It's a tough decision, but the priority is to ensure that my wedding day is joyful and free from any negativity. Understanding the dynamics of family and gift-giving can be complex and fraught with emotional nuances, much like the challenging situations both you and your girlfriend are navigating. Firstly, congratulations on your upcoming wedding. It's heartening to hear about your decision to have your grandpa walk you down the aisle. This gesture symbolizes the genuine support and love that he has provided throughout your life. As for your stepdad, it seems there's a considerable gap between his expectations and his actions. It's reasonable to expect that a parent or step-parent's role includes providing the essentials like food, shelter, and clothing. However, emotional support and recognition are just as crucial, and it appears there's been a significant shortfall there. His demand for appreciation now, without consistent paternal behavior in the past, highlights this disconnect. You're not wrong for feeling underappreciated and unacknowledged. Sending a generic thank you card might indeed suffice under these circumstances if it helps maintain peace. On another note, your account of your girlfriend's birthday presents a different yet equally complicated scenario. The pressure associated with opening gifts is real for some people, and it's clear your girlfriend feels this acutely. It's important to recognize and respect her feelings, even if they might seem unusual or difficult to understand. When she expressed discomfort with the persistent inquiries from your parents about the unopened gift, it was an opportunity to support her by communicating her feelings to your parents gently. Opening the gift on her behalf, although well-intentioned, may not have been the best move. It could feel like a breach of her personal boundaries and autonomy over how she handles her emotions and actions. This situation underscores the importance of communication and empathy in relationships. Even if her reaction seems disproportionate to you, it's valid for her. Moving forward, it might be beneficial to have an open discussion with her about how gift-giving is handled in your family and find a middle ground that respects both your family's traditions and her comfort levels. In parallel, it might also be helpful to explain to your parents that while their generosity is appreciated, the timing and manner of gift acknowledgement might vary, especially given her current feelings. Navigating these familial waters requires a delicate balance of respect, understanding, and patience from all parties involved. In a recent situation that unfolded with your girlfriend's birthday gift, an expensive designer handbag that she had been eyeing, it seems there was a misunderstanding and misalignment of expectations. She felt overwhelmed by the price and the attention that came with opening such an elaborate gift, which led her to delay opening it. While it might seem straightforward to you to just open the gift and express gratitude, for her, the experience comes with anxiety and discomfort. Your response to open the gift yourself, thinking it would alleviate the situation, unfortunately made things worse. From your girlfriend's perspective, this act overstepped boundaries, making her feel that her feelings were not fully respected or understood. This resulted in tension and discomfort, evident from her being curt with you the following morning, and the unaddressed presence of the gift still on the dresser. In this case, yes, the situation could have been handled better on your part. It's crucial to respect your partner's pace and comfort levels, especially with sensitive issues like gift receiving anxiety. Instead of opening the gift, a better approach would have been to communicate more effectively with both your parents and your girlfriend. Explaining to your parents that your girlfriend feels a bit overwhelmed by the gesture and needs more time could help in managing their expectations and making them more understanding of her feelings. Regarding your girlfriend's discomfort with receiving expensive gifts, It's essential to discuss this together and understand the root of her feelings. If the value of the gifts genuinely makes her uncomfortable, it might be worth gently communicating this to your parents to adjust their gift-giving approach in the future. As for the comments suggesting that she is being overly dramatic or needs therapy just for her anxiety around gift opening, it's important to remember that everyone has their unique emotional triggers and responses. What might seem trivial to one person can be a significant source of stress for another. Compassion, understanding, and communication are key in navigating these personal differences. In relationships, these challenges are opportunities to deepen understanding and support for each other. Moving forward, fostering an environment where both of you feel comfortable expressing your feelings and preferences will help in mitigating similar situations in the future. In a recent conversation, my sister expressed that she felt unsafe attending our grandfather's funeral without her girlfriend by her side. Understanding her discomfort, I offered to accompany her throughout the service to help her feel more comfortable around our less accepting family members. However, she insisted on bringing her girlfriend, stating they were engaged and, effectively, family regardless of others' opinions. I was concerned that introducing her girlfriend at the funeral might cause unnecessary tension, considering some of our family's attitudes. I suggested that if she felt the need to bring her girlfriend so strongly, it might be better not to attend, as the focus should be on commemorating our grandfather, not on familial disagreements. This upset my sister deeply, and she chose not to attend the funeral. After the funeral, I reached out to my sister to mend fences and provide her with an update on the service. However, our conversation quickly soured when she expressed regret at missing the funeral and frustration at the circumstances. I mentioned that her decision to bring her girlfriend might have been seen as seeking drama, which led to another heated exchange and her girlfriend eventually hanging up the phone on me, accusing me of being a bad brother. Reflecting on this, I realized that perhaps I could have been more supportive. The insistence on not introducing her girlfriend at the funeral was influenced by a desire to avoid conflict, but it inadvertently dismissed my sister's need for emotional support during a difficult time. Her desire to have her partner by her side was not about causing drama, but about seeking support in a grieving space, something I misunderstood. I see now that my approach might have contributed to making her feel alienated and unsupported. Instead of fostering inclusion, I placed undue emphasis on potential family conflicts, which may have prioritized the comfort of some family members over the emotional well-being of my sister. Moving forward, it's crucial to bridge this gap with my sister, recognizing that her relationship deserves the same respect and acknowledgement as any other family bond, especially during significant family events like a funeral. My initial stance, although intended to maintain peace, overlooked the importance of supporting my sister's right to be accompanied by her partner, highlighting a need for more empathy and understanding in balancing family dynamics and individual needs.